Hi students, welcome back to Geology. In this next video, we are going to address what a fossil is. So we're going to learn about the preservation, how it happens, and then in the next video, we'll talk about the full preservation methods and how they are preserved in different ways. Okay, so first step here is, do you think a footprint or a burrow could be considered a fossil? Why or why not? And hopefully after the end of this video, you'll be able to answer that question. All right, so first things first, what is a fossil? A fossil is any remains, traces, or imprints of a plant or animal that are preserved in rock or sediment. Okay, another term you might see is a paleontologist. A paleontologist studies these fossils that are remains of early life on Earth. Okay, and that image there is kind of showing you how they would be made. A dinosaur or some other fossil dies, gets buried by sediment, decays, then gets buried by sediment and gets preserved over time, and then a paleontologist comes by and digs it up. Okay, so sometimes students get paleontologists and archaeologists mixed up. They are different. Paleontologists study fossilized remains of early life, whereas archaeologists study prehistoric people and their culture. So it's kind of like the difference between geology and geography, right? Geography does study the earth, but they're mostly studying people and where things are, whereas geology is studying the rocks and the earth's processes. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between paleontologists and archaeologists. Sometimes they work in tandem too. They work together on dig sites. So how is a fossil made? So if you didn't know, although we have a lot of fossils that we can pull from, we have a very, very small fraction of organisms that ever existed on Earth fossilized, because there are very specific conditions that need to be created in order for these fossils to preserve. Okay, so in general, dead organisms that get buried in sediment very quickly are going to have a better chance at being fossilized. Additionally, if they have hard parts, they have an even better chance of being fossilized. So if they don't have bones and they have just soft parts like some fish or bacteria, they're not going to actually be preserved long term. Okay. If there are soft parts in dead organisms, sometimes if they're buried in soft sediment with little to no oxygen, that can help preserve those soft parts, and that means that there's not a lot of outside interactions happening that will weather or erode that material, and so it just gets preserved between those sediment layers. Okay. All right, and when geologists or paleontologists start digging up fossils, this is generally what they have to do. They have to brush. They have to be very delicate with these samples because we want to do our best to preserve them as they are in the sediment. Right, so fossils will include animals, plants, bacteria, and fungi. Fungi, as I mentioned, with like soft parts, and bacteria, they are much harder to preserve, but it is possible. Okay, so there are 3 types of fossils that we're going to talk about. We have body fossils, trace fossils, and pseudofossils. So again, any fossil is remains, traces, or imprints that tell you that life was there. Okay, so these can be millions to tens of thousands of years old. There's a really wide range. Generally, the better preserved they are, the better we're going to be able to get information from them. If they are really, really old, in general, they have been through a lot more than if they are younger fossils. And so the older fossils are generally harder to get information from if they have not been well preserved in their fossilization method. All right, so we're going to start with body fossils, which is what most people are familiar with. This is the actual body part of some sort of the organism that died. Okay, so these can be like jaws or a full skeleton. They could be skulls, like you see kind of at the top behind me here. There's a lot of options for body fossils, or it could just be a tooth. Okay, so there's 2 main types of body fossils that we see. We see unaltered remains and altered remains. And when we get to modes of preservation, you'll see what altered versus unaltered looks like. Okay. Now, if we don't have a piece of the organism, we might have a trace of the organism. And so trace fossils are not actual pieces of the organism that lived, but it shows us something about their behavior, maybe what they ate, how it raised its offspring, what shape it was, how fast it moved. So some things that we might see as trace fossils are molds and casts. Again, those are preservation methods that we'll talk about soon. Burrows, tracks, coprolites. Again, we'll talk about all of those soon. But anything that leaves a trace of the organism is considered a trace fossil and not a body fossil because it's not an actual piece of the organism. We also have pseudofossils, which are fake fossils. They're not actually fossils, but a lot of people think they look like fossils. And sometimes they are sold to people as fossils, but they're not fossils. So there's a couple of examples there. We have on the left raindrop imprints. So in mud, when rain hits it, if the rain is, harder than the mud, essentially, it might leave an imprint. And then if that rock gets solidified, it could leave basically a hole in the rock. And it looks like a fossil, but it's really a pseudofossil. And then we have dendrites, which are made by minerals specifically. And they also kind of resemble fossils, like maybe they were plant fossils, but they are a mineral deposit. So they are considered pseudofossils. All right, so some practice for you between trace fossil and body fossil. Look at the different photos and try to decide if you think it's a trace fossil or a body fossil. Okay, so pause the video and take a second. All right, so A is a footprint, so that would be a trace fossil. B is a tooth, so that would be a body fossil. C down there in the bottom left are burrows, so you can kind of see those holes. That would be where worms or worm-like organisms would burrow through the sediment, and so those are trace fossils. And then D is a full body fossil of a turtle. So that one is a body fossil. All right, in summation, we have body fossils and trace fossils. Body fossils are the actual piece of the organism, and trace fossils show us something about their behavior. Fossils need to be in specific conditions to be preserved, and that's going to be next, the different types of preservation methods. And in your notes, I want you to write down what the difference between a body fossil and a trace fossil, and try to give me one example of each. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.